What I did, was it 2 weeks ago when I was at Kasokoso, where actually it's the police which went and evicted all those thousands of people that it is their land. Number one, you see, eviction can only be done through a process. Where there's a rule of law. You don't. If you will lend me money and I haven't paid you, I default. You don't find me on the street and start punching me. There's a process of law where you can go through to demand your money. There's a process of law for evictions. I think even the Chief Justice has intervened and put the constitutional, they call it what, Chief Justice practice of evictions, those guidelines for evictions. There is a whole process. You can file as to get a judgment, extract decrees, and then there's the execution proceedings, and then finally you get this order either for vacant possession or demolition. And that is a document which must be endorsed by either the OC or the district police commander. And this is a document which goes now according to the presidential directive to the RDC with the executive committee, involvement of the minister, and then eviction. Through that can now take place. And even when it takes place, it follows that Chief Justice direction, practice direction. It must take place, I think, between the hours of 8 and maybe 5 in the daytime. You must give notice of a certain period of days. I think, I'm not sure. And if at any point in the time the one against whom the decree that has been issued, if he says I can redeem my property, then the eviction must stop. So the eviction is allowed in law, but it must follow a process. Now, where no process is followed, that's definitely an illegality. And whoever is doing it must be arrested in accordance with the law. What happened in Kasokoso was not in accordance with the law. It doesn't mean that I own the land, therefore I evict whoever is there. Because some people are on the land by virtue of a right of a bibanja holding, a constitutional right for certificate of occupancy. So you can't say, because it's my land, therefore you people go, and therefore because I'm police, I have the means of coercion, and you must go. No. And if such a thing happens, and the policeman is caught, he must face the law. Now he's acting outside the law. It's what Council was said. Muiko kwe kubile ndutotu lao Professor Kanyehamba Yangamba Lumunga ayagala for him wanted him to go and demolish those who know him is a very strong-willed man. Then I said, but can't you report this to the police? He said, report to the police? If you go to a house, find another man is there with your wife, you go to the police? You just go and get that man destroying your pride and fight him. Let the police come to stop you from destroying the man. Now, if somebody comes to evict you on your land, when you know you have a right, because he says it's a policeman is supposed to protect you, not to violate your right. Mobilize yourselves and arrest that man. When I was in Bombo, I found that somebody who, the man who owns all that land, actually was they were evicting all those Nubians. I repeated to them the same thing. When they run a call and they form themselves in vigilantes, I said, each house should have a whistle. When anybody is coming, whistle. And others will be whistling from this side, another from that side. If a strange guy is coming, you come and stop it in your way. Now there's peace in that area. So, abantu bayigo kwerwa nako. If that happens, they have become too weak. I think Somebody asked me where the Ugandans of those days used to fight for their rights. These days, a tractor comes to evict illegally. A tractor, you know, it has no speed and it makes a lot of noise. So everybody will know. And everybody in the village knows that person has been on that land for years and years. They were born there. And you watch the tractor as it is destroying for so. No, the right for self-defense is a constitutional right. And Ugandans must allow it.
Bannayuganda kusengula abantu ku ttaka kyekino wammanga. Abantu abamu basengulwa ku ttaka nga babasengula bakozesa mmundu. Abalala bakuumibwa poliisi nga tebalina na kiwandiiko kya kooti kyonna. Ne bajja ne bakusengula ku ttaka n'emmundu ne bakubako ebibaati ne balekawo amagye. Omuntu oyo agenda okwekubira enduulu mu kooti oba mu mbuga z'amateeka olwedde ng'ettaka alikoze eki? Alivuddeko nga takyaddako. Abalina kooti order abageza.
We were launching this photo and Lenin was called to talk. I was expecting him to come with his recent speech and he came as he has come. When the man delivered, he delivered the whole thing and everybody applauded. So everything is the walking encyclopedia on the land information system.
Thank you, Honorable. You might be giving me job offers jokingly. Yeah, I'll tell you is that let no one lie to you across the whole world. There is no system that is susceptible to, that can be protected from a cyber attack. For you people who follow politics quite keenly, you'll realize that at one point even the American election system was penetrated. So that's for a fact, that's a risk that is there for the system. The question is that what mechanisms have we put in place to ensure that either we limit the risk or eliminate the risk. One of the most key things in terms of cyber security and the attacks and so on, that is very important for everyone, is the human factor. There is no perfect system in the world without the perfect human beings working behind it. You can put all the technical controls you need, but it takes just one mistake for you to get attacked. So what have we done? Of course, we have done a lot of mechanisms that have been put in place to ensure that we are protected from those cyber attacks. For starters, information that the public interacts with is read-only information, and it's a mirror of our information that we possess. So even if you manage to attack our systems, the best you can do is what usually they call a denial of service attack, whereby you will take down our services, and then, of course, with the mechanisms we have put in place in terms of data recovery, in terms of ensuring that the data is tamper-proof, like mechanisms like encryption. Encryption is whereby when information is being passed from one point to another, it doesn't come as plain information where you can read. It comes as jumbled up information. So even if you intercepted it, you'd make no sense of that information. So we have put a lot of mechanisms to ensure that this system is secure. We cannot give you 100% assurance that we shall not be attacked, because then we will have no value. Because you only attack people who have value. So the attacks are real, they will be coming, but we are also prepared for them. Thank you.
Omuntu wa bulijjo nsaba mukulu minister nsaba ne ssekusaba yenna that we should have a version for Luganda and Swahili components with artificial intelligence to mention. You are an expert here, Lenin. We should introduce these components so that the ordinary Ugandan is able to use the system with ease. Because we need to ensure continuity. Local language, well, we have so many local languages in Uganda. If we can have all the languages in Uganda, please. But at least if we have English, we have Swahili, and we have Luganda. Tuba tutambuddeko. So mukulu minister nawe omukungu Lenin Victor, kindly put that into what? Consideration. Maybe the other factor is, behind every system is the people what? Element. Please address that. Where complaints are made to you, investigate these complaints, take corrective action. Every system can be hacked, but every system has a human being behind it. So tusaba mutuyambe, mwetereze munda muli, nsaba busabi.
Capability, which means it tells you who did what in a specific transaction. It will tell you who received the application, who scanned it, which registrar worked on it, which surveyor worked on it, which land officer worked on it. But in that chain, there are always decision makers. Decision makers are those who append their signatures on the document. For example, a deed print, the last decision maker, if a title was issued in a wetland, it will be the surveyor, the ministry surveyor, because he's the one who signs off that deed plan. If a fake title has been issued in a forest, it will be a registrar of titles because he appends the signature. But the system allows you to track all activities, it's self-auditing. So for that purpose, we have had actually people prosecuted, we have had people interdicted, we have people undergoing court processes. The issue of translating the system into other languages, I think you're specifically referring to the public portals. I think that that's one thing that we can look into, and it can be addressed. Thank you.
I want to thank very especially to you, Honorable Minister, and all of us, all of you who have come, who have asked the questions. And Sidney, thank you for that bit of the questions being, you still allow that system. Get the questions, of course you correct them so that some questions will be similar, and then there will